Filling your ears, no latinum required. Keeping up with the Cardassians. Always profit-free. Follow us on YouTube. Download at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Honestly, if I could describe this podcast in 2 words, profit-free.
Profit-free. Profit-free since 2023, that is.
2022.
2022, yeah.
2021.
When did we start this?
21.
21?
Yeah.
Was it 21?
October of
And we're
21?
like, it's just going to be a fun hobby. Let's just buy simple,
Shit,
easy.
it might have been 20.
It might have been
No.
20.
It might have been. Anyways, welcome to this podcast where we don't know where we started. Keeping up with the Cardassians.
It was in October.
We can't even keep up with ourselves.
This is Nick,
This is Rob, I think.
This is Joe.
and we're so happy to have you here as we talk about all the things going on in the world of pop culture, including movies, video games, TV shows, music, comics, video games, and right now, specializing in Star Trek, because we're working our way through a review of Star Trek The Next Generation. We're in the season 2 here, nearing the end of season 2.
Been a journey, you two.
And yeah, we're going to review Q Who.
What is this, Doctor? What is that? This is a bad Dr. Seuss.
It's a bad Dr. Seuss. And Samaritan Snare. So we're going to review those episodes. We're going to hit those up in the second half of the episode. But first of all, as you know, we like to catch you up on things. And as you heard in the opening promo, you can't get all your Keeping Up with the Cardassian news if you don't subscribe to us. So make sure you do that.
True.
We need that. And also make sure you call us, leave us voicemails, leave us text messages, because we got some fun ones we're going to share with you in a little bit today.
734-494-0980. Call, text.
Call today.
Either one of those, I think.
I think you can send pictures, too.
Yeah, you can send us.
Patreon idea.
Show meeting.
Remember when you were a little kid and you would turn on TV late at night and there'd be those commercials for pick up the phone, call this number today.
You want to do it? You want to do a sexy hotline
with our 734.
All right, get the board.
You do
Pick
remember
up the
that we
phone.
want people to subscribe to Patreon.
Oh my gosh!
Write it on the board.
Write it on the idea. Write it on the board. Sexy late night commercial to call in a 1-900 number. You don't remember those?
Vaguely.
Oh my gosh, those were all
head injuries.
Yeah, that's true. But they were everywhere. You know what I'm talking about, Joe, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he called that number.
He called them all the time.
No, I grew up poor. I fantasized about I fantasized about the fantasy.
I think that was me too at that age. Like I'd be like, oh man, it would be so fun to just call. But then you think about it, it's kind of sad, isn't it?
For who? The caller or the worker?
What if you just needed a quick to get it going?
Although I do appreciate that back then it was still inclusive to ugly people. Like you would just be on the phone. You could be god awful looking.
You could be the ugliest person,
but have the sultriest voice,
yeah.
and you got work.
And
it's
she'd be
great.
Like, Daddy, I like it when.
Oh my! Okay, pause.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I know this isn't listener feedback.
Yeah.
But friend of the show, Brody from
what did Brody have to say?
Talk Punch.
Yeah. Is he upset with my
No,
daddy voice?
He counted 18 daddies in under a minute. So I think you should pump. I think you should pump the brakes.
I had to describe the episode clearly. If I didn't say daddy, you wouldn't have known who we were talking about.
It was a lot. It was a marathon in real time.
It was a lot of daddies.
And reading it back, no.
I would love to see the transcript of that description of the episode.
It was probably
Just
the
the
word
subtitles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be.
Is it in italics when he says "daddy"?
Yeah, it was daddy and then an eye roll emoji.
Exactly.
Hey, I didn't know subtitles because you use emojis.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? I had to review the Icarus effects or whatever it was called, right? Wasn't it? Icarus
Yeah,
effect?
your hands were tied.
Yeah,
there's no way.
There's subtitles. It's just stops translating. One point and goes, "This is too much."
I couldn't call him father. That was too formal, and I can't call him dad because he's not my dad. So he's someone's daddy. So
It's all right.
I had to do what I had to do, gentlemen. I don't understand why I did anything wrong.
So what's going on in the world?
I don't even know.
Speaking of daddy issues, No, I don't have an actual daddy issue. Oh, yeah.
I thought you could say you don't have an
Speaking of
actual
daddy issues, on our next episode of Righty Tighty, Lefty Loosey, Hunter Biden gets convicted. How does Joe feel about that? Tune in next week.
Wait, which Joe? Biden or
Joe Biden.
me? Oh.
You
don't care how I feel about it.
Well, but it's daddy issues. So
I know.
Hunter and his dad, Joe.
See, you can't cry like political foul. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Everyone's getting convicted. It's like an Oprah episode.
Everybody's going to jail. You're going to jail.
You're going to jail.
Just for fun, there was something on TV the other day where they took the Hunter or the footage of Donald Trump when he was convicted, and they put it over the Fox News overlay when Hunter Biden was convicted, and then played it. And they're like, and it was like, finally, the justice system works. And then they did the opposite way around too, where they're like throwing a fit because he got away with it. I don't know. Because he was convicted.
That's for our other podcast.
Yes,
though.
the other podcast. It's just a little sampling, just a
little sampling of Righty Tighty, Lefty Loosey.
Little crumbs of Righty Tighty
on the Cardassian Network.
Yeah,
yes.
On the Cardassian Network. Tune in on Wednesdays at 11 p.m.
In like 3 weeks.
Now, I'm just making up a time. I want them to go to like...
Hey, Wednesday is Talk Punches Day, so we'll do Thursday.
Oh, yeah. We don't want to step on Talk Punch. They're a fun show. I really like them.
Yes.
Yeah, I do really enjoy
That's their day.
Yeah, it's their day.
And you're
Isn't Wednesday Muck's day too?
Yeah.
They got to share their day. We can't.
Yeah,
can't go
there.
now.
I'm way
you can listen to their podcast, be disappointed, and then Thursday you can get Righty Tighty Lefty Loosey, and you'll be everything's back on track.
Because we're competing for the political.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're saying the Muck will disappoint?
Yeah, they're a competitor.
Yeah, now they are.
Look, we have enough strong, intelligent women telling us what we need to know. We need a show with 3 grown men who have no knowledge, who have no political background to tell the world what it is.
I voted in every election that I've been allowed to. Yeah. So
we just want to ramble more.
Yeah, we do. We do want to ramble more. Because I'm a rambling man.
Yeah.
Have you not gotten enough of our 3 voices? Tune in to Righty Tighty Lefty Loosey.
Yeah.
And then when football season comes around.
Oh, yeah.
Unnecessary roughness or off-seasonal depression.
We had a name. What the hell was it?
We did have a name.
For the podcast? I don't know. It's got to be on our podcast idea sheet. I don't know.
I like that we have a podcast network, but it's just us doing different podcasts.
And none of them are actually real shows.
Yet.
We should just create advertisements for them and play them. And
normally you create a network, you're like, oh, this show's great. We're gonna pool together all these great shows. It's just
we're
us.
just going to take their idea and it's going to be us every single
our ideas, our voices.
Egos are so big.
Tune in for our Bridgerton podcast. New season just dropped today, I think.
The Ambassador Bridgerton.
The Ambassador. So anyway, what is actually going on in the news? Let's talk about some of those things. There was some big Star Trek news this week, right?
Yeah.
Now you
more casting.
Yeah, and you two have talked about how you're disappointed in your casting of Holly Hunt, right?
Holly Hunter.
Sorry.
It's more as I don't care.
I was disappointed. I was vocally disappointed.
Did they make it up for you with this new casting of Paul Giamatti?
No.
You don't like Paul Giamatti?
Here's the thing. I'm just nervous and a little worried that they're pulling out big names. They're not major names, but they're big names.
They're definitely names
in Star Trek casting. Holly Hunter's a big name too.
Yeah,
she's certainly a big name.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they're trying to draw you in because there's already a lack of interest or a lack of depth. So we're gonna Paul Giamatti. I don't mind, I guess, as an individual cat. Like he's been good, but
is this like the Marvel syndrome where they just cast big names?
Yeah, what is? I'm underwhelmed with the 2 big castings so far.
Mm-hmm.
In sum total. I don't know. I guess I would be. I'd rather have people a little more under the radar.
Yeah, I can get that.
Get a good find.
Well, I mean, you look at
he's going to be the antagonist, right? Is he the main antagonist?
Yes. Well, Tom Hanks is rumored to be a huge Star Trek fan.
Yeah, they're never
call him up.
You're never getting Tom Hanks unless it was on Apple TV, and then he would do it.
They will get Tom Hanks the minute after we get Henry Cavill on this show.
Gosh, that would have made me so happy if Apple would have bought Paramount. That would have been a good purchase. Because have you watched?
Ron Moore already works for Apple.
Well, yeah. Have you seen some of the Apple TV products? They are knocking out some good shows, like left and right, man.
What
Are they-
other than the news? What was the news one or the morning show? Is it morning show? It was called morning show.
Yeah, the morning show.
Ted Lasso.
Shrinking is on there. They had in the sci-fi world. They had Silo, which was a really big hit. They had
Is it like Mankind or
For All Mankind.
Oh, that's the one. I knew there was a. Yeah, I knew there was a. That's a Ronald D. Moore product.
That's
isn't
a
it?
Ronald D. Moore
that's a Ronald
joint.
D. Moore product.
Apple TV is the one that I don't think I've ever really had access, or if I had Nick's access, I never really used it.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of oblivious to what's going on in
You
Apple
do
TV.
have my access, don't you?
I know, but I've never really used it.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
yeah,
Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, if you're listening,
He's dead.
No, of course he doesn't.
What?
Steve Jobs is dead.
You just killed Steve Jobs?
No, he's been dead, sir.
Oh. What? See, I'm so far behind on Apple TV. I didn't even know Steve Jobs was gone.
Why do you think the iPhone sucked? No,
Rip Steve Jobs.
Right. But there's some good Severance.
Better late than never.
Severance is
What?
on there. That's incredible.
Rest in peace, Steve Jobs. Better late than never.
I just found
I
out.
suppose.
My grieving has only just begun.
It's only just begun.
Did you see that Felicia Day tweeted that she wanted to be on this too? The new Star Trek show.
Sign her up.
It's like her dream or whatever.
I love Felicia Day.
See,
I've always loved her.
See, that's a smaller name.
It's a smaller name.
And that's one that would make sense because
Yes.
she's popular within the pop or the nerd culture world.
A name that's recognized, but not top 2 or 3 tier.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name of it, but Felicia Day was in it with Neil Patrick Harris, and it was a musical.
Oh, the musical Dr. Horrible.
Oh.
Dr. Horrible sing-along blog. So good, man. So good. It's only like an hour long. Soundtrack was incredible. Got stuck in my head all the time. So good. And Nathan Fillion is in it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays the hero, Captain Hammer.
Captain Hammer.
Captain Hammer. It's good.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a musical.
Really?
It's really
Yeah.
good.
Huh.
Dr. Horrible sing-along blog.
What is that, an Apple TV thing?
No, it's
Gotta be.
YouTube.
Is it on
YouTube.
YouTube? Is it?
I think it's a YouTube
It
thing.
might be free. Yeah. I had it on.
Is it like a short or a
It's a
movie,
short.
or-
I think it's ones put together, wasn't it? Like different episodes that were real short.
It might be. I don't know. Yeah, it was. And it was on. It was a TV miniseries from 2008, actually.
Holy
That
crap.
long ago.
Yeah, holy cow! But it was really good.
What year did How I Met Your Mother start?
2000.
It's got to be around there.
5 or 6?
7?
Nick's checking it. He didn't bring his computer.
Hold on.
I know I don't have my computer today, so I'm out of practice.
Hold on.
Maybe he'll
Let's do
actually
the math. How many seasons did it run?
10, right?
Here we go.
I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna guess it started in 2006.
2005.
I said 6 too.
So in 2008 was Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Okay, so he was knee deep in How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
It was a
He was
Joss,
Barney.
It was a Joss Whedon creation, which is kind of troubling these days because he kind of got canceled for good reason.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
It happens.
Can't win them all.
But it's good. It's good. It's good. It's definitely worth a watch at least once. It's fun. But Felicia Day, sign her up, man. Get her on that.
Yep.
I'd watch it.
Did you guys see that James Gunn announced Peacemaker season 2 has started filming?
Good.
Good. That
Good.
first season was so much fun.
Yes.
Did you actually watch it, Joe?
Peacemaker?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you know we talked about it on the show,
Talked
right?
about- yeah.
That doesn't mean he watched it.
I watched it. It was good. It was very good.
It was very good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
It was probably the best comic book series I've watched.
I liked Hawkeye an awful lot.
Hawkeye is number 2.
Hawkeye was a very well
It was
executed.
very good.
I got to think on that. We're just talking about TV series.
Hawkeye was very good thematically too.
Smallville,
No.
number 1.
No, I mean
Number 1.
No.
not that. That doesn't count. I'm talking post in this era.
I know.
This
I
era
know.
of
Batman, the TV show.
although
66?
Penguin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penguin's gonna be good. I think.
Did they put a date out for that yet?
I don't think so.
No, I think it got delayed.
Come on, man.
Everything's getting delayed. What is it? It's Michigan. It's a Michigan road. It's under construction.
Do you want DC to be rushing their projects? We've seen where that...
It starts
counterpoint, it really doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter.
Because...
it's going to suck anyways. Yeah. Most of their DC stuff, except for anything that Matt Reeves
is involved. He's doing Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves is doing it.
Yeah.
So doing Matt Reeves?
Yeah.
Daddy.
Anything in that realm, I'm good with. Yeah. I'm not rushing, but I'm not... I don't want to wait forever.
Call your shot now. Does Batman show up in the show?
No.
Yes.
Not at all?
They talk about him, but he doesn't show up in the show. Because right now, Penguin's too small for him to care about. The whole point is the rise of the Penguin, right?
Yeah, but I think he shows up towards the end of the season.
At least a silhouette or something.
Yeah.
He's there. Maybe not Robert Pattinson in the suit.
No. Don't do it.
It's a Batman property. You just throw him in there just because people go... Like people like me, like hashtag.
Have you never
Batman
listened to the show? Batman
makes everything better.
Okay,
including Penguin.
Hey, if he was here on this show would be better.
I'll take your word on it.
Yep.
If it wasn't for Batman, Penguin wouldn't have a job anyway.
That's true.
That's a good point.
Or if it wasn't for Penguin, Batman wouldn't have a job.
Could you imagine Batman playing safety? Football's better.
That would be great. Using a grappling gun and everything to get to the wide receiver.
Get over here.
What is he, Scorpion now too?
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be, oh gosh, that would be great.
Heroes versus villains football game?
Yeah.
Do we know any animation artists that can put that together for our Patreon for us?
That would be pretty cool.
Have you ever seen the Batman versus Darth Vader video?
I'm sure I have.
That one's good too. Batman loses to Darth Vader.
Spoiler alert, holy crap.
He's going to lose. It's been out like 15 years. No. He's going to lose.
No.
But he owns him for a very long time.
Vader's a bitch.
I'm just learning about it. In my brain, it's been out 30 seconds.
Have you not watched it? Oh, no. It's great.
They played it, yeah.
Oh.
Vader's a bitch. He'd lose.
No, he would not lose. Let's move on from that subject, shall we? So, what other news topics do we want to discuss today?
I don't think I have anything else, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
it's a slow day for you.
Was it slow?
Oh. Well, I've been kind of busy. You guys kind of sprung today on me.
False. I did not.
Both.
What?
Yeah, we had
last night.
Let's do a show meeting about how we agreed after our last episode. Friday night, we're going to record. Everyone, look at your schedules. Does it work for you? Yep.
And
Joe,
what I do
2 days ago, guys.
What I do?
Friday doesn't work for me anymore.
I moved things from Friday to Thursday.
So
then had to move them back. No, because they
move.
I had to move them again.
Oh, it's easy.
Snip, snap. Look,
you're both here.
I prioritize this podcast.
Oh,
that is
true.
Wholly false.
That is actually very true.
That is very true. Actually, he puts way too much. He is hardcore about this podcast. Sometimes it scares me.
To the detriment of his own family.
Screw them.
Exactly. Oh, it's so sad. I was just before I got up here, his wife was crying to me. Like, I told him if he records this episode, it's done. And I didn't know what to tell her because I knew you were going to record anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to record anyway.
Rob said, "Mic's on, bitch."
Yeah, we're doing this.
We're going to make this a Patreon special.
We're gonna air the proceedings, and you're not getting anything.
I forgot about something I have going on.
Something more important
than us again.
No, just something I can't move.
You know, to be fair, it's kind of nice because then that frees up my whole weekend. And this
a whole. Listen, so this
is a chore now.
This was Father's Day weekend. Father's Day weekend is now freed up. Oh, happy Father's Day, everybody.
What's better than spending Father's Day weekend with you guys? Nothing.
With my other daddies.
Exactly.
Oh, happy Daddy's Day.
Happy Daddy's Day. Yay. Make sure you get your daddy something nice.
What?
You should record a message, like a thing, just so I can put that on Instagram, please.
What's your least favorite thing about being a father?
The kids.
My least favorite thing about being a father.
Everybody's gonna do. Oh,
that gets in the way.
We really do.
Honestly, I love being a dad. It's pretty cool.
Oh, fuck off.
No, I do. Oh no, I lied. I have an answer. $3,500 answer.
I'll say the medical bills.
I took my son is getting some dental work done, and I was
taking him to urgent
care.
care.
Like, yeah, it'll be $3,500, and it's due in a week. No, I did not take him to urgent care.
Gee, you're such a supporter of urgent care. Why didn't you?
So, yeah, the money is not.
I wonder if there is any urgent care doctors or nurses that listen to this nonsense.
Oh my god!
Not anymore.
Can you please call us if
They
you
would
do?
probably be laughing, and be like, "So true,
I know.
so true. That
Dude,
is
I
so
hate
true."
my
I got it from the Cocoa Pebbles box.
That is so. They're walking around with just a box of Band-Aids. That's so true.
But they're like the candy Band-Aids you can get at the store. They're not even the real Band-Aids, you know?
Well, I think it's cancer.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm just bleeding from the knee because I fell down.
They're like, here, take.
Listen, you either skinned your knee or it's AIDS. I don't have the tools to tell you which.
Take this Altoid and call me in a day.
I once listened to a Kid Rock stick. More Tussin. More Robitussin.
If I was an urgent care doctor, it'd be Bengay for everything.
Yeah. How long?
Just Bengay.
How long?
Forever.
Okay.
I was born with loving Bengay.
You were born that way?
Yep.
I think the expenses is probably the least fit.
The expenses aren't fun.
No.
Not
So
at
if
all.
you're listening to this and you're
support our Patreon because some of us have some mad medical bills with our kids.
Please.
Or don't. That's fine.
No, you should support us so that Nick can afford to go to ER and doesn't have to send his child to urgent care.
So
Urgent care dentistry. That's
got to be
That would be scary.
he'll be eating soft meals for the rest of his life, right?
urgent care dentistry would just be a man with a chisel and a hammer. He'd be like, doof.
He's flip flopped again. He's on our side
No,
now.
urgent care dentistry is different than urgent care, sir.
There's no,
Everything is. We got to pull that tooth.
It's got to go. It's got to go. The tooth isn't coming in right.
I'm here for a cleaning. Oh, we got to
we got to pull that tooth.
here's some toothpaste. That'll fix it. But I'm bleeding from the mouth everywhere. Whatever.
Here's some Fix-A-Dent. Call it a day. Oh, gosh. So can I talk about some actual pop culture news, actually, that I wanted to mention?
Sure. But all three of us do love being a father.
I do.
I do too.
Sure.
You do. You do. We all love being fathers.
So this last week,
You guys know I do.
The new Star Wars series, The Acolyte, came out.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Now, so far, Disney does not have a really good track record with Star Wars overall. And I'm saying in the broad scope of things like the sequels, The Force Awakens was well received, but then you had The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, which were critically absolutely destroyed and panned. Those two were. Then they come out with Mandalorian. People love it, right? Mm-hmm. Mandalorian is a big hit, and they decide to keep going that well, so they release another show, Andor. Andor was very well critically received, but not a big hit. Fans still enjoyed it, but it wasn't a big hit.
Yep.
They released the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Not as big of a hit as they wanted to be. Fairly well received, not great. And then they announced they're coming out with a series set 100 years before the original show. So 100 years before The Phantom Menace, basically. So this is the High Republic era of Star Wars, and it's going to be, and it's going to take perspective. It's going to follow the lead character, who is a Sith, who is a bad guy. So you're supposed to be following a bad guy in this series, and not even a good guy. So you're supposed to see it from their perspective. So people were pumped and excited for this series. Well, this series has now come out. They've released 4 episodes, I think, at this point that time this is aired, and it is being absolutely obliterated. Not just by the press, but by fans. So much so that fans are like, I'm done with Star Wars. Now, I will say a lot of Star Wars fans can be really toxic, just like Star Trek fans, just like Marvel fans, whatever. Mm-hmm. But a lot of their complaints are pretty valid. And it's getting absolutely hammered.
Have you watched it?
I've watched a couple minutes of it, and that was it. And then I was like,
It's that bad you had to turn it off?
No, because it opens. Actually, the first episode has Carrie-Anne Moss in it from The Matrix. Trinity. Mm-hmm. She plays a Jedi in it, and the opening scene was fairly interesting. But then I don't know it. I think what I liked about Star Wars, especially when I was a younger kid, and even with the prequel trilogy, is they were light, but there was this dark element brooding in the background at all times, like this evil that was always present there. There's something about this new series. It feels like it leans more into the goofy and I don't know. It's just
the Marvel end.
Yeah, but it's not Marvel. It just doesn't have a good feel to it. It feels too clean and too too overproduced. And I think they spent $180 million on it. Just
Holy
for the record.
crap! So
I'm. Go ahead, Rob.
no, you first.
No.
Mine will take us off the path for real quick.
Can we knock it off with all this shit, please? There's just so much fucking content everywhere. Every corner you turn, there has to be a new Star Wars anything. In all that you named, you also forgot the Book of Boba Fett. So there's even more out there.
Fett, there's even more, yeah.
And it's like
People like that too.
I think it was well received until it was released, and then people were like, yeah.
Well, there's something about this.
But there's so much.
This idea they're overproducing in order to make they're producing more and more content to make more money. But what's happening is the law of diminishing returns.
They're diluting the product.
Yes,
exactly. And it's kind of actually. I just watched this YouTube video. I can't remember the YouTuber, but they had a whole thing about the fall of AAA games, like how you used to be able to buy this big name game and it was incredible, it was groundbreaking, it was everything, and now big AAA games are all exactly the same. They're buggy, they're a mess, they cost a fortune to make, and they're nothing fun. And the whole argument was like, once the studios get so involved, their concern is just about appealing to the masses, as opposed to choosing your audience and leaning into it. They have to appeal to the masses, which makes everyone pissed off and no one happy. And that's what AAA games are doing. And I feel like that's what Star Wars is doing. They're making so much content. They're just appealing to the masses and just making everyone mad.
Too many eyeballs on everything. So they have to appeal to the ultra casual Star Wars fan who, I'll go see the movies. They don't really know what's going on. I don't know. It's just too much.
Well, and it's just so heartbreaking because it's not like Disney did not have really great Star Wars content they could have pulled from, like Heir to the Empire, like The Rise.
They just ignore all of it.
I didn't even mention Ahsoka. That was another Disney series that was out. They ignored this whole Heir to the Empire series. Then you had really great Star Wars games back in the day. Knights of the Old Republic were amazing Star Wars video games that people loved. The stories were incredible. Could have adapted those. Nope. We're going to make our own stuff, and we're going to make Rey this overpowered Jedi. And by the way, at the end of it, she's going to be Rey Skywalker, even though she's a Palpatine because she wants to be. It's like,
if you're looking for a standalone, Star Wars product, okay, Shadow of the Empire. The book was amazing.
Yep.
The video game was was awesome. One of the great Nintendo 64 video games.
It was.
And you can do a standalone movie.
Right. You could easily.
There's just so I think we've talked about this a while back. This was probably a couple years ago at least, about the authors and the writers who wrote the books after in the 90s.
Yeah, the expanded universe.
Expanded universe stuff, and those were all excellent series, excellent books. They just built that universe into something really, really wonderful, and it's just being completely ignored.
Well, and I think what bothers me most about this, and this is, I mentioned this about Star Wars because this worries me about Star Trek too, and even Marvel. Once you have put that media out there, it's diluted the product, and it's also kind of gotten rid of your passion for it, right? To an extent. Like, for instance, I will never feel about Star Wars the way I used to because this new media is out there and it's all canon, right? And now it's part of the universe. And even if they went back and hit the reset button and start, you'd always know the other stuff was there, right? Same thing with Star Trek, right? Let's say they hit the reset button and are like, Discovery's not canon anymore, but we're going to create another. It still was there. It was still there, or Marvel with some of the bad decisions they've made recently. We're going to go back to a more grounded thing. We're going to bring back Captain America. Okay, but the other crap is still there.
I know we kind of have crapped on what Paramount hasn't done with Star Trek, but could you imagine if they put out the content at the same rate as Star Wars did? Well, we bitch. You guys bitch about Discovery, right? As being a badly written show, and it's not. It's just not. well executed.
I'd say well executed is a good.
The writing got better towards the end,
but
let's
that's
acknowledge
still,
that third and fourth season were much better than the first and
but
second.
it's still a relatively well received Star Trek property
by the masses, I would say.
by the mass. I mean,
yes.
Not the
I would
people that have
say I would
taste.
say the reviews are mixed,
Yes.
but it's not completely panned.
Well, and even in the mixed reviews, even when they give it praise, they say this was a good show, but it could have been great.
Yeah.
And it never got there because.
And I mean,
writing.
we've had several new Star Trek properties, and there are more coming, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like it's completely diluted the fandom.
It's like, so when Picard
Not
season 3 came out, you had Discovery, Picard season 3, you had Lower Decks, and Strange New Worlds, all rotating that same time frame.
Yeah.
Still didn't feel like too much, though.
To be fair, take Discovery out of that a little bit. Those other 3 were firing. Those other 3 were on fire.
They were.
Picard season 3 was a drastic improvement over season 2.
Even though they were filmed at the same time.
Which blows my mind.
Yeah, blows
Different showrunner, man.
Different showrunner, yeah.
But then Strange New World season 1 came out. Fire.
Yes.
Lower Decks season 3?
Yeah, at that time. Season 3 was
So
the most
good.
well-received season.
Was very good. Very, very good. And Lower Decks, one of those shows that got better the longer it aired.
Yeah, exactly.
But so, full disclosure, when you're talking about that Star Wars Acolyte,
Yeah.
at the beginning when you said it was 100 years before the original Star Wars and it sucked, all I heard in my head was the prequel movie coming out for Star Trek. That's all I heard.
Yeah.
I just took Star Wars out and put Star Trek in, and I'm like, ugh,
Yeah.
terrible.
Could be the same idea. Meanwhile,
Open hailing frequencies.
hailing frequencies are open, sir.
Yes.
And we have some viewer feedback that we want to share with y'all. Just not too much, but a couple. I got a message from actually one of our favorites. Sent a message that said that they had a tornado back a few weeks ago, back in her subdivision. Thankfully, not on their street, but it went through the street connected to them. And they said, "I put on a brave face to keep our kids reassured by listening to the Patreon episodes while we watch the tornado's path on the news."
With the kids?
I hope not.
Good
Well,
Lord.
she says, "Want to stay calm when facing imminent destruction? Apparently, watching y'all eat apples is the answer."
Well, that was an excellent program.
Yes.
And the tornado pics she shared were good. Did you see those?
I didn't actually
I did
see
not
the
see
pics.
them.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Ooh.
And her
Yikes.
neighborhood, right? Yeah, right. So,
Will you send those to Rob so we can put those on the...
You told him to send something last week and he didn't send it.
and then there's another one of it. So, yeah,
That's wild.
yeah. So thank you for sending that in. Much appreciated. We got.
I want to know what their favorite apple is. What's their favorite apple?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Please call in. Let us know. 734-494-0980. What
I
is
still
your
can't
favorite
believe we
kind
did
of
that.
apple?
That's so funny.
It's one of my favorite episodes. And I want to share some comments here's another text message we got. It says, "I very much want an episode of Righty Tighty Lefty Loosey. 10 votes in favor. Really looking forward to escalating hot takes from Nick and Joe while Rob tries to center the group on a reality and practical consensus," which I actually, that is what it would be too. Come on, guys. You're being a little ridiculous here.
3 weeks. Give us 3 weeks.
Yeah. Give us a little time.
Yeah.
Let us get through my kid's graduation party.
Yeah.
Some things that we all have going on.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we will visit this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I will hold them to it. Because Joe knows once I have something in my grasp, I will not let it go.
Plus, we're really going to start with election season too.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
Righty tighty lefty loosey coming this election season.
Yeah.
It's like July sometime.
It's going to be.
God.
But
Perfect.
I also just wanted to quickly share a Patreon note from.
First episode will be exclusive to Patreon. How about that? And then
Righty Tighty Lefty Loosey.
We'll put it out on Patreon first, and then we'll actually throw it out there.
Okay, maybe.
Okay.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yep.
That's a good idea. Patreon
$2
comment
tiers.
I wanted to share real quick was from one of our patrons, Annette. I got to share this because I think it was last week where Joe and I decided to karaoke on the, or a couple weeks ago on Patreon.
Yes.
And it was great. We were talking about songs that like you've heard your whole life, but
I did not participate.
maybe you don't know all the lyrics to them. And we were talking about songs like, oh, I absolutely know all the lyrics. And we were going through the game. And one we decided on that was a consensus was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes.
So we ended our podcast
we sang the entirety of Bohemian Rhapsody.
We sang the entirety of Bohemian Rhapsody, and Annette said, I'm going to figure out a way to make that last minute my ringtone of Bohemian Rhapsody. Anyway, the wind
I don't know about that.
Doesn't really matter. Any other feedback you guys
And that's
want
a
to share?
self-punishment.
We got another one from...
Oh, she says she'd never heard of Ben Folds Brick either, though, and that did.
Same.
Really?
Yeah.
We got one from... Well, we got one on our YouTube. You can go to YouTube, and if you watch us, go to YouTube.
Yeah, here we go.
Or should I save the best for last? I'll save that one for last.
Yeah,
that's a good one. But there was one other one that you guys sent earlier.
Yeah. Was there? I don't know what you're talking about.
So I know I send these messages periodically, but here you go. Life has gotten hectic lately, and the only way I ever have been able to relax and get some decent sleep, even if it's just for a few hours, is by listening to us. Which I don't know how I take that.
Yeah, I say we bore people to sleep.
Yeah,
that's what I hear.
We say nothing of consequence, and our voices are so boring and monotonous that it's just.
That's what
it says. Regular episodes, Patreon, etc. Y'all are worth it and out here doing good stuff. Can't wait for our next meet and greet, which we do on Patreon. We have Zoom calls where we will just host, and you pop in. We put out a time. You pop in, say hi, have a drink, have a whatever. Play guitar. Cole play guitar for us.
Yep.
Again, once we get through this little busy season.
Yeah, it's a busy season.
We'll do it again.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then she said, and who the fuck prefers boiled hot dogs?
Thank you. That would be Nick.
No,
that
was Joe.
That was him.
That's Joe.
Oh, okay.
And I stand by this. You boil the water.
No.
Once it comes to a boil, and hold on. This isn't for all hot dogs. This is specifically for Kogel Vienna hot dogs, which are like the natural casing hot dogs.
Yeah, the ones that crunch.
Yes, they are perfect. You boil the water, drop them in for 2 minutes, and then you pull them out and you put it into the bun.
Yeah, now we're talking.
So, and then we got our final comment is from
Lord.
we don't know. Cameron on Phil is from
Cameron,
from YouTube.
Really,
Cameron, why did you have to do that?
Really?
And it says, "Damn, Joe is hilarious."
Oh,
God damn it! Now another week.
And
of
I'm
this.
not even making that up, and that's not my burner account.
That's not your burner account. Can you comment on your burner account so we could get some more comments, man?
Oh man.
Hit that like.
Listen, my burner account, ironically, is called Not Joe's Burner Account.
Use it.
Speaking of burners, how about we burn the rest of this conversation and move on to Star Trek?
It's just enough of Joe's hilarious.
Can we do that?
No, there's never enough of Joe's hilarious. And I just love it. So thank you, everybody.
All right. Well, we're going to move on. We're coming here into Star Trek Season 2. We're continuing on our episodes, and we got 2 to review with you today. And the 2 we're reviewing with you are Q-Who and Samaritan Snare. Q-Who
Bless you.
Is a episode where it's, as you figured out, it's a Q-based episode.
No.
Q shows up on the ship and says, bro, I want to join your crew. And Picard's like, I don't want you. You're a prick. You're a jerk. We can't trust you, man. Like, for as capable as you are, we don't want you. And Q gets all angry, and he's like, bro, if you think you can do this without me, let's find out. Boom, snaps him 7,000 light years away. Where does he snap him to? I'm thinking it's the Delta Quadrant here at this point.
Yeah, it has to be right.
Because they experience the creature known as the Borg. Guinan steps in and says, you don't want to trifle with them Borg. Them Borg don't play around. You don't want to mess with them Borg. And they're like, no.
You don't want no Borg.
It'll be fine because we're all about peace, love, and acceptance, so they'll love us. And then turns out the Borg want nothing to do with them. They just want their technology. They don't even view them as a threat. Their technology is so far beyond the Federation's that Picard actually admits to. He is scared. He is terrified. And as the episode starts to come to an end, Q comes on there and he's like, bro, I admit it. We're not ready for this. We're not ready for this. You were right. We're weak. We're blah, 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 blah. We still got a lot to learn. Send us back. Boom. Sends them back. And they get back. And that's pretty much the end of that episode, actually. So we have their first encounter with the Borg. And I wonder if we'll see them ever again.
I appreciate how this they mentioned those colonies from the first season that got dug up and everything. I do appreciate that.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
it's a nice little thread.
Yes, exactly.
It's something that they don't do all
On the
that
show.
often.
No.
on this specific show.
Correct.
No,
Boy Wonder.
No, they don't.
And it's nice when they do that because it ties it. I like things to be tied together a little bit. At least give me something.
I've heard that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. More than a little bit.
Okay.
You know when you do that, you just open up to saying things that we don't want him to say.
I know. Now he's like drooling over there.
No, I'm saying daddy.
Me?
I was expecting that.
Oh.
What are you doing?
See?
You can't blame me for that. This was a very good episode of Star Trek.
Yes.
It was a great episode of Star Trek.
But my question to you,
well,
start off here.
Not great, but it was very good.
This was a great episode of Star Trek.
Q wasn't necessary really in the long run. Like if you take Q out of that and put a wormhole in it, then put a wormhole where they just accidentally.
No. I like the use of Q because
he's arrogant.
He's arrogant, but also they're arrogant.
You're right.
They're like, no, we got this. We're so advanced. Like, who's not going to love us? Like, they're going to meet us. They're going to want to be friends with us. We're technologically advanced. We're advanced to the point where we love everyone. And Q's like, that's not the way the world works, man. The universe works. There's people out there. And they say, no, we can handle it. We got this. So I like the use of Q because one of my biggest complaints so far is that the Federation is up its own butt, specifically Picard. He's got to stick up his butt all the time about how great the Federation is and how great humanity is. You're not perfect, man.
He's patriotic.
He is patriotic.
I like Q in this episode because up until this point, Q has been easily the biggest threat that they've seen.
Yes, biggest. Yes, definitely.
By power,
most formidable foe.
Yeah, because you can wipe them out with a snap of fingers.
And
by default,
now they see the Borg and they're like, "Oh shit, there's something else." Mm-hmm. And now I see Q as almost a potential resource and doesn't necessarily have to be a foe.
Yeah.
And so now you can almost, I don't know, you could like put the Federation and the Borg on equal playing fields if they have, I don't know. It just felt like.
So when we were watching this, my daughter was watching. She goes, "Is Q even a villain?"
He's not. He's really a
an
villain.
Antagonist.
He's an antagonist.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's not evil. Well, I think once you get to that point where you're this as powerful as he is and has lived as long as you are, you're not evil. You're not good. You're just there, right?
He's annoying.
I like the scene where basically Q was like, "I'm not even a bad guy," and Riker was like, "When we first met you, you put us on trial for the crimes of humanity. Like, what are you talking about?
You were acquitted.
Hey, you were acquitted. You got off.
The glove didn't fit.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Hey, some mistakes were made. What are you gonna do?
We let you off though. Like, you were fine. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like, yeah, he did that to them. He turned Riker into a Q and made Riker.
Yeah, he's like, and you tried to recruit me. He's like, yeah, but you said no.
You said no. It was the biggest mistake I ever made.
I love the X's. Hey, man.
Hey.
The Q's are Italian.
They would.
It's the Gazy. Forget about it, Riker.
Forget about it.
Get some pizza pie.
Do I look like a Q?
I hope we don't have any Italian listeners.
Oh, we don't.
I hope we do have Italian listeners.
You can look up the stats.
Pizza.
Ooh,
if you have Italian listeners, send us pizza.
734-0980. Tell us about your pizza in Italy. We'd love to hear it.
Invite us over.
So here's my question, actually, because I really enjoyed this episode too. What is it that makes this episode so good? Because there's a couple things I want to go through here. We get the cold open, which is with the new ensign, who's kind of like all over the place, really struggling, like trying to impress
Someone
Geordi.
drug test her.
Yeah, she's trying to impress Geordi, and Geordi's like, look, the only reason you're here is because we're already impressed by you, so shut up. And then she spills her coffee on Picard. So it's like this light moment to begin the episode, and then he immediately steps into the shuttlecraft, and he's with Q, right?
Yeah.
So, and then we go, and then basically that ensign is kind of forgotten about, right? The rest of this episode, if I recall.
No, she was scattered in.
She was scattered in.
Scattered in there, but like, so, and the reason
She's forgotten after the next one, I think.
Yeah, she's in the next episode.
I'd like to forget the next episode. As a
Yeah,
whole.
Yeah, that was a thing. But so I bring that part up because you have that story, which I'm guessing in some shape or form serves as your B plot.
It's filler.
It's filler. And then you go into this Borg thing, which takes up the whole episode, but You really don't see much of the Borg,
which is good.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have their catchphrases yet in
Nope.
this episode. There's catchphrases.
Did I do that? Is that what they're
Exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do.
Yeah,
In the
yeah.
Borg voice, though. Did we do that?
Did we do that?
Because it's we.
Yeah.
Oh.
We are the
how
Borg.
would I know?
Did we do that?
But there's all sorts of things like as they're like they're kind of slow playing the Borg. So this wasn't a build up episode. There's no big climatic battle. There's nothing that really. The pacing is not really fast at all. But why?
No.
is
It's
it-
more methodical.
What makes this episode good? Then
Well, that's one thing about Star Trek. Best use it plots its pace more methodical than having it just that ram. It's just I do like that too. Don't get me wrong, but Joe, you look excited. You look flush.
Whew. Where's the fan? Is that fan on?
Yeah, where they can kind of pace it out at this kind of pace rather than just to make those assumptions that I complain about with some other series.
I liked the pacing, and I liked that it was a slower build, and they didn't overplay their hand with the Borg in this episode.
Right.
Like clearly, we've seen them misstep some introductions to what they thought were going to be foes. The Ferengi, terrible. The black blob guy,
Artemis.
terrible. Like they're trying, but they've done. Who are the? Is it the Romulans?
Romulans.
Yes,
they did the Romulans good.
very well,
Yeah.
very well executed. But they didn't push. They let it develop naturally. It felt like in the episode.
Push it.
And this felt like a very natural, because it feels, the Borg feels grand.
Well, they
like
could-
when they had that shot when they were on the cube or whatever,
and they show
and it was like
Endless.
endless. That felt like it gave you, it was a grand scale. You got the feeling that this
Scale.
isn't just like a one. They're not just going to find them and then we're just going to go away and it's done. It felt more grand in nature. So to me the slow pacing was like, ease into it.
Well, it's like kind of like a good horror movie where they build up everything. You don't have to see everything in order for it to be scary. In fact, a lot of movies are scarier when you don't see what's going on.
The Blair Witch Project was
Blair
one
Witch
that
Project was a
big for
great
that.
example of
Yeah.
that, as long as you saw it on a big screen.
Yeah, exactly.
The first 75% of Signs
yes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
was excellent.
The build up, when they're in the
Yes.
house and they're banging on the wall and you never see them.
Swing away.
That's when
Swing
that's
away.
when it loses it.
No
Though.
way, man. I liked it.
Yeah,
But the
that's-
first
it's no
75%
longer
is
scary.
Yes.
Was
It's
was
just
really
build.
good.
It's just suspenseful build up.
Suspense.
Yes.
Suspense. And I think that's why this episode benefited from, because there was a suspense to
Tension.
it. There was tension. There was
didn't know what was gonna
ramifications.
Yeah, you could feel the grandness of the Borg without them having to sort of spoon feed it to you.
This is the Borg. They're scary.
Well,
Right.
and still, and then having Guy in there who's terrified basically the whole time, and then gives them crap when they're like, well, "We're going to send an away team to their ship."
She's
And
like,
it's
"You be dumb."
What are you doing? Like, and this is again their arrogance because they're like, "Well, they paid us a visit. We should pay them a visit." Okay, they paid you a visit and kicked your ass in that 5 seconds they were on your
Yeah,
ship.
well, the only issue I had with that is they didn't clearly define why they thought they could go over there and why they didn't run. They didn't define that they thought they defeated them.
Yeah, they thought the ship was dead.
Yeah.
Right, because
So
they sensed no life signs,
yeah,
right?
so they didn't really articulate that in the episode. But when they beamed over, they were like, oh, shoot, it's regenerating.
and then they want it off.
We got to go.
yeah, we got to go for show.
That was Picard. Make it go.
Make it
Ho.
go, number
No,
one.
that was the next episode. Our ship doesn't go.
Oh, the pack leads.
Pack-led planet.
God.
So good. So good. We're not there yet, though.
Yeah.
We're not there yet.
Thank God.
So, there's a couple things, though, I think.
He is smart.
It's interesting, and you'll start to see this because we'll go more into the Borg later on. But there's interesting things like where they're discovering how the Borg procreate, and they're like, oh, they have babies, and then they put interfaces in them. So this is before they.
There's a
talk-
little
But-
retconning.
Yeah, there's a symbol. Yeah,
That Borg baby was so cute, though.
It was. It
adorable.
was
Oh
a
my
baby. It was
gosh.
It was
gross.
adorable.
It's
That
adorable.
poor baby.
Babies are gross.
Yeah, clean diapers are futile.
Ha.
Ha! You'll get what it means in a minute. In a while.
Okay.
Next season.
Now,
I think this is it
The
until.
very end of next season, yeah.
now,
Oh yeah, we have engaged.
one thing I
The
don't
Borg.
like. One thing I don't like about this episode, and is the fact that, I mean, we're going to review the next episode. It's just like that's
it.
it.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it. That's the whole season, man. The whole show.
It really bothers me, and I don't know.
Well, we don't know how much. To be fair,
No.
we don't know how much time is between episodes.
No.
It's
Don't
like top
hold
of
this to be fair crap.
No.
You didn't ever do this for Battlestar Galactica.
I did.
No, you didn't.
No.
I did.
You were a dick about Battlestar Galactica.
It wasn't a good show.
Rob, this pains me.
How dare
This pains me to do, but I agree with Nick.
No.
Yeah. And you would forgive those things in Deep Space Nine.
Because I know
because Deep Space Nine did they
Deep
wouldn't
Space Nine did a good job.
they wouldn't introduce something and
Minus
then not pay it
O'Brien
off.
being tortured or watching his kid die.
No
and
one,
then
no
being
one,
fine
no one
with it.
comes to DS9 for O'Brien family drama.
Hard Time was great.
Save the drama for your mama,
That's
O'Brien.
right.
His mama was killed by the Cardassians.
Oh, that's why he's racist.
Yeah, exactly. Excellent. I love how that. So you shared something on the social medias, and it fully admits that O'Brien was a little racist, and that didn't come from us. That came from someone else.
Yes.
I appreciate it. So that's not the first time Ron Moore heard that O'Brien was racist.
It might have been the first time he heard it.
Maybe it was. Maybe no one's got the guts to say it to their face.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Anyways, so
But it just
back to the episode.
it's not a big negative about it, but it's like, I would like a little more of this storyline.
Well, that's what a good
Or-
story does. Is it leaves you wanting more.
But I think
But there was no even I don't know.
I
It
think
just-
that's what makes the
it's
finale of
too
season 3
isolated.
So good though too.
It's too isolated.
Yeah.
These episodes are too
No, I agree with you. There's more of a payoff if
Especially-
they're interconnected, but that's not what the show is.
Maybe
that's not what
it's
Star
because-
Trek was until season 4 of Deep Space Nine.
But maybe and I'm
Yes,
fully
yeah.
I'm fully
There
aware
were
that
there were some in the early seasons, but not much until season 4.
Yeah.
I'm fully aware that my palate was probably seasoned with the previous two shows
For sure, because they're so
to feel
Yeah.
like, okay, this is a storyline. We're gonna get a story arc, and this is gonna pay off over the course of several
There's a
episodes or a
story.
season or a couple seasons. This is just it's taking a while. It's still taking a while to get used to.
It
Where
does.
it's like that was a really good episode. Now here's something absolutely completely different
And
that
a
has nothing to do with what
and
you just
a
watched.
completely different tone.
that's
as
what it
well.
is. It's probably the
Yep.
tone more with this, and you're not watching it weeks in between. You're
Right.
watching them back to
Yep.
back, so it makes it a little harder.
And I will say this week, so if we had stuck with our original watching plan, we would have ended with this episode. We wouldn't have continued on and watched
Yeah,
Samaritan
because
Snare.
last week's
right
would have
after
been
it.
split between the previous episode and this one.
Exactly. So that's kind of thrown us off a little bit because I will say that does make Samaritan Snare a little bit more jarring, especially with the way that episode ended, where they're basically like, "We got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do. We're not ready."
We
Yeah.
are strong.
Yeah.
It's like in a video
we
game.
strong.
It's like in a video game
We should
when
make
you
a T-shirt with Packlet sayings like "We are strong.
We are strong.
We are smart."
We are
Like
smart. We go places.
in a video game
we
where
find things.
you're like on like a level,
Yeah.
like level 2, 3, or whatever, and then they send you to like a really strong boss just to
Just to
make
show you you're not ready.
Yeah, you're not ready. You need to grind a little more
Yeah,
and come back when you're
Come
level
back.
10.
Yeah. It's a great role playing game right there, man. They just get your butt kicked. Then you got to come back, build up your character, level up, add some points to constitution and dexterity, and go back. And fight
Damn, my
them again.
character's a bitch. I just got this shit
I
kicked out
know.
of
I
me.
know. I need more hit points, baby. That's what Picard said. I need more hit points against
When you,
that
play, when you
board.
play RPGs, do you grind before? Are you or do you just go right through the story?
I'm not a grinder. Well, I like to do the side quests along. But when I think of grinding, that's the people who intentionally like look for battles. Like, in the old Final Fantasy games, you would leave the
Oh,
stage
yeah.
and you come back in, and then the
I would
bad guys
spend
would be right
hours
back.
just looping.
See, I couldn't do that. That would
Yeah.
drive me
I go to
nuts.
the first dungeon or cave or like the first area.
Yeah.
I'm just so overpowered because I've grinded I grinded all afternoon.
See, that's what happened with Picard and the Enterprise, man. The Borg have been grinding.
They've been grinding.
And they're ready to go, man. They got their next level up, and they're ready to fight. So,
I'm the guy that plays a game. Shit, I've gotten too far in the main story, and then we'll side quest for the next however long. And the
Yeah.
next,
yeah. I'll
Sometimes
do
the
that
side
too.
quests are just more fun.
Oh man.
There's some games where the side quests are way better than
Well, like even the
than
Spider-Man
Yeah.
games on PlayStation, mind you.
Yeah.
There's so many side quests that could keep you busy for freaking months.
Yeah.
Well, even like Cyberpunk, for all it was, the
that's
main
right.
story of it was not really great.
No.
But some of the side stories were incredible. Or Starfield was another one like that. The main story sucked, but there were some side quests that were really, really
even
good. I'm like,
Hogwarts-
that should have been.
The side quests maybe weren't great, but there was a billion of them.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, anyways,
or my case is because I still haven't beat the damn game.
So Starfleet needs to go on a bunch of side quests because they're not ready for them board.
Yep. We need to grind.
They're not
Before
ready.
they face Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Nice pull.
You like that?
That is
Yeah.
a nice pull. That is a nice pull. I don't like that game because I never played it.
I didn't know
You don't like Final Fantasy VII?
I didn't know you Final Fantasied.
I never
Back
played,
in the day.
You know what?
Nice.
I never played Final Fantasy VII. Can you
What?
guess why?
You were.
I didn't own a Sony PlayStation. I had
Oh.
a Nintendo
But it-
64.
Oh my god!
I never had a
You
PlayStation.
never played.
We didn't have the
Final
money.
Fantasy.
You've never played 7?
Never.
Never played 7.
And now they get the re-release on.
He's never played 7. Never played this Cloud.
I watched someone play it.
Oh my god!
God. You cucked.
What am I supposed to do? I'm sorry, I was poor.
You cucked.
Oh, you poor people.
Are you saying that you cucked Final Fantasy 7?
I did. I watched.
I was poor too,
I sat in the corner and watched someone play Final Fantasy 7.
did.
but I still played Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Moving on.
You got to do what you got to do.
Samaritan Snare.
Yeah, you switch between Final Fantasy and GoldenEye. You just switch between the two.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can get behind that though. Just give
Of
me.
course, I was a little
GoldenEye.
older than you guys, so I thought I probably bought my own systems.
Oh wow, must be nice to have money.
A job? You
I
mean
had
a job at 16?
I got a job at 14. I started working when I was 14 years old, like the week after I turned
getting
14.
hustling?
Yeah.
Got to hustling.
I bought my first video game system. I bought was actually the original Xbox, and that's because I went to KB Toys
Yep.
and I was wanting a GameCube, and I'm like, can I get a GameCube? And they were super popular, and they're like, no, we're all out. But we have these Xboxes, and I'm like, I guess because I was a kid, like I wanted a video game system.
Still to this day, GameCube underrated.
GameCube
Oh,
underrated.
very underrated.
But
Very
the original
underrated.
Xbox was super underrated too. There was some
Well,
amazing.
it was properly rated because people love that thing. The first Xbox?
No, the 360 is the one everyone loved.
No, the original one. People because it's
The
the first
original
one.
one loved.
But the
Yeah, because it's the first
360
one they had Halo, right?
Yes.
Yes. it
Dude,
did.
people
yeah.
were all about that.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
They were Xbox wild because that was PS2
and
era,
That's the era where Xbox Live became a thing.
and
Like
Xbox
Yep.
took over PS2
PS2,
/3.
PS3. Oh yeah.
I think
And-
PS2 had a stronger beginning.
And then they came out with the Xbox.
Well, because it was
One.
PS2 was also a very good DVD player,
Yes, it was. PS3 was the best.
Blu-ray player. You could.
Yes.
It was.
That's even now. Like my Xbox is a great 4K player.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean,
You lost me
and
to
now-
Xbox.
Yeah, gosh, this is a whole other thing, man. We should have talked about physical media because I read a whole article.
Video exclusive. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rent your video games at Video Exclu. Do they have video
I don't think
games?
they do video games anymore.
Never mind. Rent your movies to watch while your friends are playing video games.
Yes. And apparently, if you have an Xbox, whatever that is, you can do high def on there, right?
Yeah,
4K.
4K.
video
Yeah.
exclusive.
Video exclusive.
Dearborn
Or if you
Heights.
want to watch it in better 4K, do it on your PlayStation.
That's right.
All this is to say, I read
Nice
this
job.
article talking about how Best Buy has gotten rid of almost all their physical media now.
Yeah.
Target is getting rid of a lot of theirs, and they're all selling it to Walmart. And now the cost of movies is increasing drastically. Like you used to be able to fish through the bargain bin for like $5 Blu-rays. Now they're like you'll be lucky to find a DVD for $5 in the bins. Now it's getting so expensive. To buy a new 4K movie is $35
Well, it's
now.
going to be a niche.
I know it
Yeah,
is. It's like vinyl.
It's like
right?
vinyl.
But so
But I still have a hookup at Video Exclusive.
Yeah, you do.
That's where I
So-
get all my 4K movies
Dearborn
at.
Heights and Telegraph.
313-278-4446.
So I know the theater experience is unique, right?
Yes.
The big screen, the big sound. But in 2024, we're closer than we keep inching closer to we keep closing the gap with the home theater experience versus the theater experience.
Yes. Never
What
will, though.
you can buy. So when you say $35 for a 4K, right? That's $35 to watch it as many times as you want with as many people as you want,
Right.
and not having to pay for snacks.
Yep. You're
So
right.
if you go to the movie theater, it's no less than unless you're going at like specific times, like you're planning it out.
The matinee show.
I'm
yeah.
spending $80, right?
Yeah, but if you're gonna go, you're gonna go on like a Friday or Saturday night. That's the better part of $100.
Yeah, but I'm paying for the experience too.
Yep. Worth it.
I love seeing a movie with an audience full of people who are excited to be there.
For sure. I'm the same way.
I know. I'm just saying.
Nothing can beat that. My experience when I saw Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man, and it was a midnight showing, and the audience was packed, and they went nuts.
Yeah, that's something you can't replicate at home.
I will never forget that experience.
But the first time you watched Independence Day in the theater with everybody.
Oh my gosh.
That was
When
wild.
they blew up the White House.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Don't get me wrong.
No, I know
what you're saying.
But I'm just
Endgame?
saying, like,
Infinity War, when everybody was bawling, it was great.
mm-hmm.
Or like when Tony Stark says, "I am Iron Man" at the end, and people go ballistic. Like,
Cat picked up the hammer, people went nuts.
yeah. Mjolnir.
Anyway, Star Trek.
Samaritan Snare.
To who?
Samaritan Snare. So Samaritan Snare is a interesting
He
episode.
is smart.
He is smart. Samaritan Snare is let's see. I'm going to break up the story. So we got an A plot or B plot. It doesn't even matter. One of the plots is Captain Jean-Luc Picard needs a heart transplant because when he was a kid, he was a douche. And he got into lots of fights. And he goes on a shuttle with Wesley.
Mistakes were made.
He goes on a shuttle with Wesley to a starbase because he doesn't want anyone on the Enterprise knowing that he has a fake heart because he doesn't want them to think that he's not a strong commander.
I respect it.
And the whole time he's basically giving Pulaski the bird saying, "Screw you, I don't want you operating on me," because she's a wench.
I wouldn't want to read it.
So that's the A plot. Wesley and him bond on the shuttle. They get along really well. He goes to have the surgery, and oh no, they need only one doctor who can perform it. Oh, it's Pulaski. They bring in Pulaski. Why wouldn't they bring in the head surgeon or the head doctor of Starfleet Medical?
Because they're on Earth and far away.
I know, whatever. So they fix his heart. He's back on the ship. Meanwhile, they get a distress call from a ship from the Pac-Lads, and the Pac-Lads need help. Make our ship go. What were you out doing?
It is broke.
It is broke. We find things to make ship go. So they beam over Geordi to fix it, and Deanna's like, "Bro, what did you just do? These guys are evil." And they're like, "No, they're too dumb to be evil." Guess what? You're never too dumb to be evil because these guys were evil. They wanted to keep him, so they devise a plan to help him escape from the ship by basically disabling the Pac-Led vessel. They beam off the vessel and they say, "So long, Pac-Leds."
Thank God they were dumb because they were obvious.
They went,
Hey, Jordy,
yeah,
we're going to release this. Wink.
yeah, I know, right?
Thank God they were dumb because Jordy would still be there.
Pac-Led planet.
So, to your point earlier, Nick, about the prior episode, this kind of goes to the Federation's arrogance.
Yeah, it does with the Pac-Leds. Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We'll just be over our chief freaking engineer.
Yeah,
why
but
didn't
hold on.
You could have said
Hold
an
on.
ensign.
You could have said Wesley.
He was not.
But
on the
who?
ship.
What? Worf was all over that.
I know. And they ignored Worf again.
Yes,
Yeah,
they did.
He's the head of security, and they're
They're-
like, "Nah."
I think that's like the third episode in a row. He's like, hey, we should do
He
this.
is the
And-
chief security officer,
like-
and he's like, "Do we really need to send our chief engineer?" And they're like, "Piss off, Worf."
Now let's send this guy alone on a bad guy ship.
But these early seasons, and especially this season, where Worf has had good suggestion, they've told him to F off. No, we don't like that. That makes too much sense.
If they haven't outright said "piss off," they've just completely ignored him.
We're the Federation, Worf.
Yeah,
Don't you know who we are?
it's racist.
Yeah, we're the Federation.
They don't see him. Do you think they see him as Federation, or do you think they see him as 75% Federation or 80% Federation and 20% Klingon?
Well, they did the same thing to Tasha.
Yeah, they did. They dismissed Tasha all the time.
Yeah.
But Tasha continuously put that ship in peril.
Yes, she did.
Worf
Yes,
has been
she-
nothing but a good chief security officer.
I mean,
Actually,
he's
right now he is.
Yeah.
Later in the show, different story.
Yeah, he
As of right now, he's been
gets
good.
bad at his
I think
job.
He has
I think-
good instincts too.
I think right now in season 2 of this show, he is a good security officer.
Right
I would
now, he
I would
is.
agree.
Because he's like, bro, this is dumb. And Wrecker's like,
Did you see
you hear-
how Picarded these guys are? This is ridiculous.
Well,
we
and
can't.
and then they're all acting like pricks. towards
T-shirt
him. Like-
idea.
Like Geordi there with his comments. What's the matter? They're
We gotta
rubber
put Pac-Leds
band.
on them.
dude,
Put Pac-Leds on them and just put
get
Picarded.
on the whatever you guys make those on.
Cricket.
I am not doing that. You guys can do that.
I'd leave that one to you.
All right. So outfit idea for the cruise is that shirt with our Make Cardassia Great Again hat. It's my cancel outfit.
Yeah, it is. It really truly is.
Fantastic. I'd do it.
Yeah.
Unless we're hanging out with one of the actors, then I would not.
You know
Are there any Pac-led actors?
You know the FJB shirts? Is there a way we can do that with like Damar or something like that?
Is it what was his title? Leggett?
Leggett to
Yeah.
FLD? FLD. I mean, he turns out okay in the end, but
Yeah, Damar's not the one you want to
Great
do.
in the end. So it's always Ducat.
Yeah,
yeah,
Or
but
Kai Wynn.
what is it? FGD?
Yeah.
yeah, but our hat is supporting Ducat,
Oh.
right? So it would have to be
Kai Wynn.
against Damar. No, because Ducat and Kai Wynn are tight.
Oh, he was using. Yeah, they were tight.
He was using her.
He was
but-
using her.
Yeah, he was, but like you can't.
And then she tried to kill him. So
It's got
F.
to be the opposing
Kai Wynn.
political party. It could be.
FKW?
Yeah.
It could be FBS, but like I don't want to mess with
Cisco?
with
You don't-
Jambalaya Jesus.
You're not going to mess with God.
No.
Jambalaya Jesus was one of my favorites on that
Yeah.
too. Jambalaya Jesus. All right. Getting back to Samaritan Snare here. Jordy was a prick at one point.
He was.
What's the matter? The rubber band on their ship break?
That
Come
was such a
you
dick line.
prick. Like that is such. That's so. Check your privilege, Jordy.
Okay, that was so out of pocket that I thought it was like a little more deep than it was.
No.
I was like, oh, is that tech babble? Like, or,
Yeah.
Oh no, he's just being a complete asshole.
Well, he
Their
like,
rubber band broke. It was good,
It was good.
but it was kind of out of character. Like,
Well, he was kind of out of character last episode because he got super annoyed by that chick at first.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he kept on going, shut up.
yeah,
And she's a good-looking lady.
It doesn't matter.
He could have done worse.
That's true.
He could have done a lot. Well, he couldn't really see her though, so there's that.
Yeah, he can.
No, he sees an infrared. Remember, we've talked about this. He doesn't see
it's
people
true.
like you see people.
That's true.
can we talk about how they sent Picard to a place where they don't have the ability to do what was needed?
The emergency version of what was needed, like the oh shit version of it.
Yeah, but like,
But then why aren't we?
Then why is he even
hold
there?
on.
Hold on.
But-
Because my dad just went to a hospital where they had to do a procedure, but they're incapable of doing the procedure that would be
Okay.
the worst case sscenario
All right, my question.
because he then had to go to a different hospital.
Okay, but you also live in 21st century America.
If
We're
Pula-
talking about the Federation here,
If
man.
Pulaski's going to end
You're
up
arrogant,
doing it
just like the
anyway,
Federation.
if Pulaski's going to end up doing it anyway, why not beam the doctors onto the Enterprise?
I have a huge issue with Pulaski doing that. That's such a slap in
well,
the face to Picard.
it wasn't. It was more about Picard not wanting his crew to see him have surgery.
So cut him off.
His body is perfect. He don't. You don't. He don't.
Oh my God! What an arrogant.
But that's
Douche.
part of what he is, right?
I know, but
I can't let them see any weakness in me. I can't let them see that I have a fake heart because I got stabbed in the heart when I was younger.
he has a fake heart. It would
That's a
explain,
fun story,
It would
man.
explain so much.
Oh my gosh, it would. Oh, that's why this guy is a prick. He's
Yeah.
got no heart, man.
He doesn't. He hates kids because he has a fake heart.
Yeah, he has a fake heart.
He's a Lego heart.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. It was that plot point was a little.
It's a little weird. I mean, it was an excuse for them to get him and Wesley on the ship together, right? To talk the whole way. And turns out like he doesn't hate Wesley, which how can you not hate Wesley?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know you don't like kids, Captain Picard. It's okay. It's okay you don't like
It's
me.
okay.
Everyone likes me. No, they really don't, Wesley.
That's why everyone's telling you to go away and shut up and
Go to these exams. They're far. Guys, I
Yeah.
can take him here on the computer. No, you got to go in person.
go
You can't beat the real life experience. You got to.
They're like, if COVID taught us anything, it's virtual learning sucks. You got to do this in
You got to
person.
go in person. Yeah, you'll understand someday.
There's been no mention of COVID though.
I know. No, well, because they've moved past that.
Yeah.
They've transcended COVID. I will say, Wesley has not been as poorly written this season, though. I mean, he's not annoying this season.
Well, they've over course corrected.
They've
though.
over course corrected.
Because season 1 was like Wesley.
Boy genius.
Yes.
Boy genius.
And now they've really scaled it back to it's like, where has he been?
Yeah, he's just another member of the crew who doesn't know anything.
And so I feel like sort of like the truth lies in the middle sort of thing. Somewhere in between those two extremes is where that character will probably flourish.
Right, probably.
Because season 1, Wesley was like, fuck this kid. Like, I don't need him on screen every episode solving these complex issues.
Yeah.
And now season 2, it's like he's made ensign, and now he's just nowhere to be seen.
I know, right? Well, they got him off doing like scrubbing the floor duty or something like that. Like, you already got the brains, kid. Now it's time to build up some muscle. Go clean those floors.
Yeah, season 1, he's in engineering, he's out engineering. He's solving things the whole engineering staff couldn't solve.
Can't have that.
Season 2, he's cleaning bathrooms.
Get this genius off our ship. We can't have that.
He's a bellhop. He's carrying luggage from...
Hey, to be fair, they needed to put him in his place. He needed to learn.
Oh my God! Yeah, so you know what they did? They promoted him. We'll put him in it. We'll show him.
We're gonna put him in charge of flying the ship.
I feel like they're missing, and I know they don't do like story arcs that weave in and out, but I feel like they're missing an opportunity to write some homesick with his mom. Like, well, yeah. Could you imagine being that age and you don't have your dad's dead, no siblings, and your mom's just gone now,
right?
And there's just no mention of it.
And they've pretended like she doesn't exist since the first episode, right?
Yeah,
really completely ignored it. Yeah,
like they didn't kill her off, so you could mention her name,
and it could have been like he's flying back so he can see his mom or something.
Yeah, that could have been why he was going. That could have been
his excuse to go, but no, we're not going to do that. Don't worry, she'll be back soon. 4 more episodes, and then she's back.
4 more episodes.
Bring back Space Ghost Lover. Bring her back.
The juxtaposition of these 2 episodes back to back was
painful.
Like, I don't know. The first half of this episode was like, these guys are... What is going on? They wrote the dumbest characters. And then, I mean... Clearly, they weren't going to be that. You could tell from the beginning, like they're not going to be that stupid.
Yeah,
right.
There's no way that it would. There's no way that it would work. The only way that it would work is if the crew was just as stupid.
Yeah,
and they just dumbed down the crew.
There's some good lines that stood out to like the Worf and LaForge exchange. Like he's like, any classified knowledge you share with your captors will be considered treason, but I may have no choice. You will die without honor. It's like, thanks a lot, Worf. Or later on.
What do you expect? You expect him to just sugarcoat it after he was like, hey, don't do this. And they're like, get out of here.
And then he's like, you're now armed to the teeth. Teeth are for chewing.
Oh, my God.
I love those guys.
They're the best.
The Packlids are great. Do we ever see them again in Next Generation?
I don't think in Next Generation, just Lower Decks.
In Lower Decks, they're great. They're a whole plot of a season, and it's really good, actually. Packlid Planet. I love that their name of their planet is Packlid Planet.
Yeah. Well, too many more words in their language would be tough.
Yeah, it would be. It would be.
Oh my God, this is. I don't know.
I'm trying to find the Packlets. Here we go. Let's see if they're in any other episodes.
Hopefully not, or at least season.
They're the main villain, season 4.
Oh God.
Yeah, exactly. You think we are not smart? We are smart. No, you're dumb, Packlets.
We are not dumb.
Hey, you're right. It's just this episode.
Seriously, Joe. Get on the Photoshop. Picarded. Make it happen.
Okay.
Yeah, just Samaritan Snare.
Because he won't do it. I'm not going to mess with Photoshop.
I gotta get a good. I want to get a good screenshot of the Packlets.
You know
Go
what's
for
funny?
Decks.
The Packlets,
you get a good one because it's high def.
Oh, good. Yes.
The Packlets are in a lot of DS9 episodes, though. They're just in the background. It lists.
Oh, there you go. Like Quark's Bar.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
what
10,
the
11,
fuck?
12,
No
13,
way.
14,
Probably just in
15,
Quark's
16,
Bar, though.
17, 18. Yeah. 18
oh, that's
Packlid
stupid.
appearances.
That shouldn't count.
And then Lower Decks, of course. Packlid. I love Packlids. They're my favorite.
No.
They're
so
great.
much better than the Borg and Romulans.
It is an interesting thought, right? Because we automatically assume only intelligent species would somehow end up in space. But there would be people.
No, yeah, you'd have.
You'd have. I mean, look at our political system, man.
I told
idiots get in charge all the time.
Do I have to?
Other show on
righty
the other
tighty
show.
lefty loosey.
Yes.
Sorry.
I would before we started recording. I was telling Nick that I would 100% have gotten canceled if anybody saw me watching this episode.
No, I'm curious.
Well, especially in the beginning, when they were talking, I'm like, because Riker was kind of he was like toying with them, and he was just so curious. I'm like, it's because they're fucking Picarded. Like, what are you talking about? This is. How do you not see it? You're number one. Like, how do you not see this? Like, it's so stupid.
Because they're idiots. Man.
And I'm like, why are we following up such a good episode with such dog shit?
Speaking of following up good episodes with bad episodes, let's go into giving these episodes ratings, shall we? So let's start with our first one here.
How about in the mic there, Nick?
Was I not in the mic?
No.
Oh, was I pulling a Rob?
You were. That's my thing.
Let's start with the Q.
People don't want to hear me anyway, so it works out.
Rob's thing, Nick.
Exactly.
Q here. Q here. What do you guys give Q here?
What did I think I gave out an 8.5 last week. I
think
believe.
you did.
Did I like this as much as I liked
7.5
last week's episode?
7.5. You got it, Robbie.
I'm going to go 8.5 again.
Okay.
Not quite a 9, but better than an 8.
Okay, so just so you know, last week you gave it an 8.
Okay.
But
I thought this was a very good episode, on par with that, maybe better.
Okay, 8.5. Samaritan Snare followed it up.
What'd you do, Nick?
8. I'm sorry, 8.
Okay.
I was an 8.
Oh, okay. Samaritan
So my
Snare.
thing with Samaritan Snare is it's actually not that bad of an episode.
It's
It's
not.
just what it followed.
I also hate what they did to Picard in there with Pulaski having to be operated on.
I
Like the
agree.
one thing
I agree.
And you guys might have talked about while I was out of the room, and I apologize, but
No, we were just talking about Wesley
It was talking about Wesley.
I hate that for Picard. I hate it for Picard.
because he didn't want her operating.
Yeah, and
And she's just a nosy bitch.
exactly, and like
He said that to her afterward.
there's a lot of disrespect to the character from the writers too.
I think there's a lot of disrespect to Picard towards her as a doctor, actually.
Well, I mean, have you met her?
Yeah, but she's a qualified doctor. She can easily
No,
do the
she's not.
surgery. And
Yeah, she's the only one in the sector that can do that surgery.
well, remember they're not close to Earth, so
I know.
it can't be.
Earth.
Welcome to Earth.
Welcome to Earth.
So anyway, Samaritan Snare. I don't think it was
One.
as bad. I don't. I was gonna say like a 6 for me.
I was gonna do like 5. I was gonna do 5.5, but I got annoyed listening to you guys talk about it, so I downgraded.
Yeah, I don't think it was a bad episode. It definitely didn't help that it followed Q Who, which is a great episode.
Yee-hoo.
I find there are a lot of plot holes in this, a lot of missed opportunities here.
A lot of holes to plug. I get it.
The pack leads were obvious from the beginning. Some things were out of character for, like, I thought Geordi was a little out of character. I didn't like the Picard storyline because they like force fed Pulaski having to do the surgery.
And you knew it was going to happen all along. To your point, it was obvious.
So I'm gonna. Did you do 5.5 or 5?
I think I did flat 5.
I'll go 5.5.
And I did a 6. So there we go. All right, next week we have 2 episodes to review. Up the Long Ladder and Manhunt are the next 2 episodes. But I think we're nearing the end of this season. I don't think we have much more left, do we?
It's a 22 episode season, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the shortest season of. Why is that? Was there a strike?
I think there's a writer's strike.
Okay, but this is the shortest season. Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 episodes left. So we're getting there. We're getting there.
Is that the? Don't spoil it, I guess. But actually, I don't really care. Are there any more? Is there any more Borg in season 1 or
Season
2?
No.
Fuck.
We're done with Borg for a while.
For a while?
For a while.
For a while.
I want to.
I don't know if they tease them.
retroactively take a half point off.
I don't recall if they tease them at all, but there's no Borg presence for a while.
No.
Until like season 6.
No. But you know what you're
No.
going to get more of? Riker's daddy.
No, that's not real. What he just said, is it?
But
They sort of they like half-assed abandoned the Borg until season 6.
it's either.
He said like,
Yeah, it's.
come on.
I thought it was late season 5.
It might have been season 5. Maybe.
I think you guys are lying to me.
You can't rule it out, we'll just say. But season
There's
6.
still hope for Ducat, though.
There's still hope for Ducat.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I can't believe I got fooled by that douche. Well done, writers. Well done. You had me.
Anyways, folks, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciated it. We're getting near the end of season 2. And then we're getting on to season 3. So it's good to see you. This was Nick.
This is Rob.
This is Joe.
Thanks for keeping up with us. Bye.
Peace.